Welcome to this Talking Bloody Nonsense interview, exclusive, extra for YouTube. I'm Peter Nixon. No Craig today, unfortunately, but I'm here with Ricky Knight Jr., RKJ. How's it going, Ricky?
All good, mate. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you for agreeing to come on our little podcast. You're not the first interview. I do have to apologise for that. Lizzie Evo has that honour. But you're my first guest. You're my first, yeah. So I appreciate you coming on, man. So I think we should just jump straight into it. I want to keep this sort of conversational. You know, I hate these interviews that they're just, deadpan question, answer. We've known each other for 10 years. You know, we can make this entertaining, I think.
Definitely. I'm sure we can at some point.
So obviously you grew up in the wrestling business. What is your earliest wrestling memory?
God, probably like I know obviously I've been in the ring. I got in the ring at like 2 weeks old, but like the earliest I can remember myself is probably like managing Zach when Zach was in Zach Zodiac, and I was coming out as a Zodiac kid and managing him, doing like little spots, like the Bronco Buster or dive cross off the top. Just little stuff when the referee's back was turned. Probably at like 4 years old. That's probably like the earliest I can remember, like personally having anything to do involved in wrestling business. But yeah, probably like 4 years old, to be fair.
That's madness. And you see, new members of the Knight family going through the same stuff that you would have experienced now.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously, from when that was like 18 years ago. So. Like it's crazy how long ago it is and how much things have developed, because now like you have people like Landon, like my little brother, Caden, my cousin, Oscar, my cousin, all battle cats in like the kids class. So like all the kids obviously got their own show and they're wrestling people their ages rather than wrestling men. Because when I was like 10, I was wrestling all the adults, so it was a lot more like brutal on the body and stuff. But so just see like the constant like progression of every generation, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. So, we talked about, you come from a wrestling family, a wrestling dynasty, the Knight dynasty. If any British fans don't know about the Knight dynasty, they've been living under a rock. You just have to watch Fighting With My Family to really get an idea of, the lineage of the Knights. What's it like when you step in the ring, either as a tag team or as an opponent of one of your family?
Yeah, I mean, like quite recently, so you just take like, I don't know, the last few months, like I just wrestled at York Hall as a tag team with my dad, and we won the Rev Pro belts, British Tag Team Championships. And I just had that moment at like York Hall, one that's a very like prestigious hall, to myself and just in general into the wrestling world. It's one of the best halls in the country, if not the world. And to be able to go there and win gold with a family member, especially your dad, is something like that'll live with me forever. And there's not like one word you could put on it. There's not a feeling you can describe that gives you that moment. And like literally just gone this Sunday, I just tagged with Zach, which is obviously my uncle. And like I said, one of my first memories is managing Zach at like 4. So now being like 21 years old and tagging with him and being the main event at the 229 in London. Again, it's just a feeling you can't describe. I've been very lucky that I've had things like that and been able to wrestle everyone in my family. I've wrestled my nan, I've wrestled my dad, all of them. And quite recently, like, yourself, you were there at Fightmare when we were at Carroll Road, 5,000 people. I was, one of the headliners with my dad, and the first time I won the world title. That's the biggest buzz in the world. It's about to share that feeling with someone that you love. Everyone in this business, everyone in this business is like family, but to have to share it with someone you really love and care about is, it's one of the best feelings in the world.
Yeah, I can imagine. I was there obviously for Carroll Road, and people are still talking about that match you had with your dad at in Norwich City. Your dad has got a massive lineage. Roy Knight, the Zebra Kid, for people who don't know. Massive lineage in British wrestling, and I can remember Frontiers of Honor, 2003. Your dad wrestled Samoa Joe at York Hall. So for now, at this point, for you to be the tag team champions, winning them at York Hall with your dad is monumental, in my opinion. Whilst we're on the, go on, sorry.
A little funny fact as well that people watching this. So my dad's never won at York Hall. Every time he's wrestled at York Hall, he's lost.
Right.
And like, I've never been pinned at York Hall. Well, but bar the one with Will. Apart from that, I haven't been pinned. So I've got quite a good record there. My dad's got like the worst record there. Like none of the nights bar me has like won a match. So right. At that point, like dad, that's the first match dad's ever won at York Hall out of the 50 times he's wrestled there.
That's funny. You referenced the Will Ospreay match. That's what I wanted to talk about next. I messaged you as soon as I finished watching it. One of the best British matches I've seen. Talk about your experience with Will. I think you've wrestled him a few times now, but that match specifically, what preparation went into it, and your experience from that match.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I've had matches or been involved in tag matches with Will up until that point, but it's like being that big fight atmosphere with Will at York Hall yet again, like a hall that's, like I said just now, a hall that means so much to me and to professional wrestling, and just being in that moment, like we had like nearly 1,000 people, 1,200 people there, and we're the main event. We're the ones that had to produce. So to go out there, and that's the first time on the Indies for me, there's been the pressure of having to produce. And we went out there, and to be fair, like we tore the house down. I was very shocked as well. Like obviously, Will is a huge star, so it's quite nerve-wracking for me to go out there and to be in there with the same spotlight as him. Not because I'm worried about the ability or anything like that, because I'm not. It's more the fact of how I want the fans to perceive me.
Yeah.
To be stood in the middle of the ring just for the bell going, like you got 70%, 80% of the crowd chanting RKJ. It's still now, like, whenever I feel a bit down, like I don't want to go to the gym or something, like that clicks in my mind straight away, and it wakes me up. But obviously we just come out of a big lockdown, so going into that match, I weren't 100% how I'd want to be. Like physique wise, I weren't how I wanted to be. So hopefully it comes back around again some point this year, and we can rerun it, and hopefully there'll be a different outcome, and we can top off what we done last time. We can blow that out of the water, and give another big match, and maybe one of the biggest matches in British wrestling to date.
Absolutely. I hope you get that opportunity again. I'm sure you will. Is that the best match you've ever had? Is that your favourite match?
Yeah, I think so. Just for the fact of, as it's in the capital, it's in London, and how the online feedback, it went over to, some New Japan World, that was seen in Japan. It travelled around. So I think, if I had to pick one, that probably would be. Do
you think this match will get you more opportunities elsewhere? Have you had people get in touch with you on the back of this match?
Yeah, I mean, since then, a lot of opportunities have come in. I think that's like the cherry on top of the cake, like showing you can hang up there with someone like Will. It was arguably like the best in the world. It is like just to be in the UK and people to know that, like obviously Norwich is very out of the way, like so for people to see that and to see that you are worth the drive down or the journey, it has helped massively, to be fair.
Oh, good for you, man. So, I mean, Will is one of the biggest stars in the world right now. Are there any more wrestlers on your bucket list that you haven't wrestled yet and you'd like to do it in the near future?
I wouldn't say, no, I don't really have a bucket list, to be fair, like of people I want to work. There's halls obviously I want to work at and countries I want to go to, but people-wise, I just want to wrestle the best talent there is, and wherever you go, I just want to wrestle that top talent, put on like a top match, perform the best we both can, and give the fans something happy to go home with. Really, there's not a person that jumps out of mind for me that I'd want to work.
I think that's a good mindset to have, because you'd never know. You could be going on with someone you've never met before and someone you've never heard of. You could have the best match or the worst match.
Yeah.
Are there any matches that stick out as far as real stinkers? And you don't have to drop any names or any locations, but
You
are there
see,
any matches
when
you're not proud of?
you don't really have bad matches, you see. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's probably definitely been a few that's not gone to plan or something's happened, but like real stinkers, I don't think there's been a real stinker I can remember.
I remember in Fakenham a few years ago, you wrestled Kip, and you both. I didn't see the match because I was preparing for mine, but you went out and you came back, and you both said we just had the best, worst match ever. Do you remember that match at all?
No, because that was like you said about stinkers. I wouldn't say it was bad. Like, the crowd was still into it, but
yeah,
spot that we planned a few spots because me and Kip had worked a few times, and we planned loads of spots that we knew we could do. And the ring was really small that night. And none of those spots went right, and all the spots we've never tried went perfect.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that's probably one of the funniest matches I've had. But I was thinking I still delivered. I still done its job.
Absolutely. Well, two world-class athletes. What would you expect? So, I mean, we talked about Kip Sabian just now, doing great stuff in the States.
Yeah.
Is that something you aspire to, whether it's AEW, NXT, Impact Wrestling?
To be honest with you, at the minute, that'd be great for a big opportunity like that to come around and to have a permanent deal where I can just focus on this, like not having to work 60 hours a week or, and then, try and fit your gym in and try and fit everything out your family life and then travel at weekends. Like, it would be nice to have that steady base of a contract with one company. But at the minute, I do enjoy doing what I'm doing, like traveling town to town, country to country. Like I got, this year we can travel, so I've got a few international bookings. So just doing what I'm doing at the minute, like I am really enjoying. But maybe the States, maybe Japan. But eventually, I just want to be seen as the number one in the world, whether I have to go to America, Japan, or both, or stay here for that. I just want to be classed as the best wrestler in the world at some point.
Absolutely, and I know you've got a family to think of as well, so it's a hard decision to make. Yeah. Where am I? Sorry. You had a NXT tryout a couple of years ago. Is that something you'd like to talk about at all?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't remember exactly. That's funny enough, it's just when COVID struck, so I don't know if you can class it as a tryout, but got there. Zach, I went with Zach. So Zach went on Sunday, and I just wrestled. I don't know how I wrestled on the Saturday. I was at Sheffield for Rev Pro, but I wrestled the Friday at BWR against Dad.
Yeah.
Friday night. The Saturday I was in Sheffield, and then the Sunday I wrestled Jay Lethal at St. Neots.
Nice.
I saved a cat from drowning that day as well. But
you saved a cat from drowning.
Yeah, so like at St. Neots, it's a beautiful venue, and at the back you've got like this dock where all the boats are, and so because I was going away for like 10 days, I think it was. So my partner came with me, and we just went down there and fed the ducks, and we had this big plop in the water, and I thought I've dropped my phone, so I checked my phone, she checked hers, everything was good, and I just see this cat like drowning like in the middle of the water, and it's a beautiful cat, so I just hopped in and grabbed it. I'm not a very good swimmer myself, but I felt really good. And then I ran to my car, got like my towel out my car, wrapped the cat up in this towel, dried it off, and that was like, I say a cat, it was only just allowed out as a kitten, and we cleaned her, got her warm, and then her owner come and got her like later that night. But back to the original tryout, yeah, I just got the back, doing like a full weekend. Zach flew on the Sunday, I went on the Monday. And we got there and we had to do like our blood, a medical. On the Thursday, we then went to the tryout. Or Wednesday night, we went and got like our t-shirts and like our numbers. And then the Thursday, we went to the tryout, and they sat us down. We done these promos until about for a couple of hours, and then they told us it was cancelled because of COVID, and we flew home that Thursday night.
Oh right, I had no idea.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I haven't really spoke about it so much just because no one's really asked, and a bit worried, should I speak about it, should I not? But I got the t-shirt, upstairs, and there's something nice to remember. Like, me and Zach had a good time in Florida, And to be fair, like, WWE, they're fantastic. Like, they could have left us there until like our, what's it called, to our flight date, and just took the chance. But no, they got us all a flight home the same day. So they cancelled it, got us a flight home. When we got there, like, they had us a pickup truck that we could just drive about, so we weren't stuck. Obviously, the hotel was sorted. But they were fantastic, to be fair. And luckily, we all got home in good time before COVID really like struck in.
Well, that's good to know, because I mean, WWE always get a lot of bad press, but it is really good to know that they looked after you when you would have been stuck otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from my, like, I can't talk for everyone, but for every time I've been to the WWE, whether it's been to go see like Saraya, Paige, I've been allowed to go backstage, and they've given me passes. They've given me all the car parking tickets. So like, they've always been fantastic towards me. So good off my personal experience, like, we were very lucky then as well, obviously with COVID. But yeah, they've been fantastic, in fairness.
Oh, good. Have they been in touch about maybe bringing you back over?
I'd say no anyway, but no, generally, like, I hadn't heard nothing. Obviously, with all these releases at the moment, I think everyone's a bit unsure, unsteady on what's going on. So maybe when things ease up like there, and when things ease up over here for traveling in and out, maybe things will change, but who knows?
Yeah, I imagine in time someone will get back in touch with you, hopefully. So we spent a lot of time, you and I, on the camp circuit in the UK, and if people don't know what the camps are, I mean, this is going on YouTube, people all over the world will see this interview. People who don't know what the camps are, how would you describe the camp circuit in England?
Well, to anyone watching America, I'd say it's a bit like a trailer park. You go stay away in a caravan, like a holiday, and they've got this big, facility that you go for free entertainment. And we provide wrestling shows to those camps, and we perform in front of thousands of people a day that are either there because they like wrestling or there because it's free and don't have a clue what's going on. So we're sort of there just to entertain them, really.
Yeah, I mean, we've had so much fun just going out and doing silly matches, the most basic matches, but stuff that is going to get a reaction from a casual fan, people that, as you say, aren't there to watch wrestling, they're just there to be entertained.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I mean, we trained at a fantastic academy, WAW, but you can only learn so much from being taught moves. You learn how to wrestle when you're out on the camps, as far as I'm concerned. Do you have any fun stories from the camp circuit, or any life lessons that you learned whilst on the camps?
Yeah, I mean, like, with the camps, funny story, it is just your general basic stuff of being on the road with the boys, ribbing each other, for anyone ribbing, like, playing pranks on each other. But yeah, like, just traveling around, it's the closest you ever get to going full time. I only done that up to about 17, because obviously then work took over properly. But that is really being on there. If you've got a good team doing 2 shows a day, it's as close you get to doing like it as a full-time living. So it is something to, 1, to experience, and 2, to really learn your craft, because you think over a space of like 6, 7, 8 weeks you have like 100 matches, and it's ridiculous. Like, to get all that experience in 2 months is
it is crazy. Yeah. So you and I have wrestled. I don't think we actually had any camp matches together, but
No,
we've wrestled, numerous times in halls and at our old training facility. I always felt that you and I had good chemistry. We did a match one time. I don't know if you remember it. It was a 4-way with Tony and Nikki Fu, and those two did like a double elimination. They went backstage, and it was just me and you, and we didn't really plan anything, but it just flowed so nicely. You were everywhere. Like, you were. What am I trying to say? If I needed you to be somewhere, you were already there, and vice versa. Are there any other guys that you can think of, or girls, that you feel like you have great chemistry with and you like to perform with?
Yeah, I mean, there honestly, there's loads. Like Will, every time I got in the ring with Will, there's been great chemistry. I probably wrestled him 6-7 times, and I can say, look, every single time we've been there for each other's stuff. Like, it just clicks. You know, like you just said, I'd hold yourself up there. Numerous amount of times. One match that really sticks out with me that I've been in with you was the 3-way in Thetford.
With Alex Young.
And we done some, you know, back at the time, like, we were all trying to get out there then, and, you know, we're only really doing like WW shows or DOA, HEW, just doing the local stuff around our area. And that was one of the matches I think that had helped progress us all up another level. And I think that's one that I always like remember with you. And then going on to that same match, Alex Young is someone that I hold, you know, with chemistry wise, I think like we've had some brilliant matches. And I can't pick out one that we've had a bad match. Here's my first what I'd class a professional match, like paid match. And like since then, like I can't think of one off the top of my head we've had a bad match, and we're tagged with each other, so we've had a great chemistry. Another one would be Robbie X. Like, I went through a point at one time. I think I wrestled him something stupid like 15 times in 3 months.
Yeah.
And I generally believe that we get a phone call tomorrow, and just go out there, not talk, you know, and we know each other's stuff inside and out, and the match would be good. I mean, you fought Brad Slayer, which is some people may not be familiar with, from down in Norwich. Funny enough, actually, talking about stinkers, me and Brad had a match that I look back at now and I weren't very happy with. Like, our timing was off. I wouldn't class it a stinker, but it's definitely not the worst match we've had. And then since then, we've gone on to have probably like 6 or 7 like absolute belters. And now our chemistry is just so on point. But yeah, I mean, they're like some of the top lads. There'll be other lads that stick out and like, oh yeah, I forgot. But yeah, they're people I can just go in there and just bounce with straight away.
Yeah, I think Brad Slayer specifically, people need to go out of their way to see this man perform, because he's phenomenal. He can do everything. And it's just a matter of time before he breaks out in a big setting. I hope he gets more opportunities going forward. And Alex Young, if he chooses to stick with it, I know he's been in and out, dips in and out of the business. If he, this is going to sound derogatory, if he stuck with it, he would be one of the best guys on the circuit.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said this he's one of the when he's in it, he's one of the biggest people to watch, because he can go out there with anyone and have a belter in any way, because he is just a fantastic athlete. But if Alex Young, and I've told this to his face, if he committed for 18 months, it'd be a massive star around the UK, because talent speaks for itself, and he's got a lot of it.
100%. If he put in the effort to send his stuff to places, talk to promoters, because he's such a nice guy as well. People would snap him up and he would be all over the place. Have you got any shows to promote coming up?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't know when this will go out. Maybe when this go out, I'll be a dad. Who knows? But this month, I'm actually expecting a little boy. So this month, I've been very quiet, just for the fact of, when you're traveling, like I said, Norwich is a bit out of the way. So when you're traveling 3-4 hours to a show, I don't want to get a phone call and say, all right, I'm going into labour, and have to trek all the way back, let all the fans down for one, and worry myself and my partner. So I've actually took a slow month this month.
Yeah.
So two I've got to promote would be BWR on the 28th. I'm wrestling Callum Newman, to be fair, someone that I've got good chemistry with as well. And, it's happened a few times. First time in BWR, so it should be good. It'll be a match definitely worth watching. And then the 29th at York Hall, one of my favourite venues. I'm working Luke Jacobs, which is, he's only a young lad like me as well. I think he's my age, 21.
Right.
The match is going to happen another 10 times for sure. But where it happens and what scale it happens on, I'm not sure. People need to come down and watch the first one, though. Be there for history.
Yeah.
Say first match, not the last one. So 29th at York Hall, me v Luke Jacobs. It's a big one because I need to put myself back on the map for the Will Ospreay match or Michael Oku, whoever wins their match, and head towards this year being Rev Pro British Heavyweight Champion.
Good for you, man. I hope it works out for you. Have you got any tips for aspiring wrestlers? If they're breaking into the business, or if they've been in the business a few years and they're trying to break out?
Yeah, I mean, like if you're just coming into it, you know, listen to your trainer, trust them, make sure you're going to a good school, like do your research, and you know, make sure that trainer's got good feedback and good people to come through that school, and trust them, trust their process, because if they've got a good school, it'll work. And you know, don't be scared to go around and learn from different people. You'll always have a home, but people show you stuff. It may be the same stuff, but they'll show you in a different way, and they'll show you different stuff as well. And you can sort of pick and choose. Not everything will work for you, so don't get stressed or worried if one thing doesn't work for you. Everyone's got a disadvantage and advantage at something, and some things you're better at and some things you're not. But just go around, listen, work as hard as you can. And if you're trying to break out there onto the scene, just message promoters, ask if you can come along, ask if you can jump in the car that's near you and travel to the show, help out, sell the merch, take the ring down, put the ring up. Just do anything you can to get yourself noticed, and work hard, because you can't fault someone that wants to work hard and wants to earn an opportunity rather than waiting for that opportunity to come to you.
Absolutely, that's great stuff. We touched on this already, but where do you see Ricky Knight Jr. in the near future? For example, 3 years' time, where would you like to be?
3 years' time, I'd like to say that I have been Rev Pro British Heavyweight Champion. To say I've reached number one in arguably the number one company in Europe. I'd like to say 3 years' time I can say I've done that. In 3 years' time, I'd like to say I'll be classed in the top 10 in the world. But yeah, in the next 3 years, they're the two things. If I can achieve them, I'll be very happy.
They're definitely achievable for you, mate. I'm going to finish off with something I'm going to try and get trending. So
okay.
Our show is Talking Bloody Nonsense, TBN. I want to do a segment called Throwback Name. So I want your dream opponent, alive or dead.
To narrow it down to one's quite hard, but if I had to narrow it down to one, it'd probably be Shawn Michaels.
That is a great shout. I think these two would tear it down. Do you know Shawn Michaels and Eddie Guerrero never wrestled each other?
I know, it's criminal.
That's mad, isn't it?
It's criminal. How good would it have been?
Yeah, I read a rumor that they were meant to wrestle each other at WrestleMania 22, but unfortunately Eddie died about 6 months before that. But apparently that was penciled in for WrestleMania. That's so unfortunate.
That'd have been
that never happened.
Mm.
Well, listen, Ricky, I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man, so I'm going to let you go. But thank you so much for coming on our little podcast, and all the best to you. I hope being a father is everything it's cracked up to be.
Me too.
I hope everything works out, and I will catch up with you soon, my friend.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Cheers, bud. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.